turn now to a new federal rule raising concerns among immigrant and election advocates. Nonprofits are no longer allowed to register new citizens to vote during naturalization ceremonies. For years, nonprofits help new citizens register to vote in the U.S. It's work that advocates say have connected thousands of Floridians to the ballot box when they are most excited and likely to engage. But now a new policy from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services limits voter registration at ceremonies to official election staff only. Groups like the League of Women Voters and Florida Rising argue the ban creates barriers, especially for those with language or transportation challenges. They say the ceremony itself is often the best and only opportunity to register. Federal officials defend the change as a safeguard for neutrality and efficiency. But immigrant advocates warn it could shrink turnout in immigrant communities and diminish what is often seen as a powerful first step in American civic life. Lindsay, how do you feel about, how does the League of Women Voters in St. Pete feel about this? This is something that has not gotten a lot of attention in the media. It passed, several weeks ago. How do you all see this?
Yeah, it's a devastating move to civic organizations like the League of Women Voters, and I think I can speak on behalf of the state and the country when I say for the League of Women Voters that it's detrimental. It's making it harder for new citizens to register to vote. It's an intimidation tactic, frankly, on the immigrant community, and it's so important to understand who these civic organizations are, like the League of Women Voters. We're a group of volunteers. We're a nonpartisan group of volunteers. We've partnered with USCIS for decades. We've registered hundreds of thousands of new voters. Imagine you've taken the citizenship exam. You're finally an American citizen after doing all of this hard work. And one of those rights that comes along with your citizenship is the right to vote. And there's someone standing right there with your form to say, here, and now you are truly an American, register to vote. Someone who's volunteering.
Well, yeah,
Travis,
and Lindsay's been a fantastic advocate for the League of Women Voters. I don't want to rain on her parade at all, but I'm going to come down on the total opposite end of the spectrum. There's still going to be somebody who's there with a form to register. They're going to be. They're just going to be the government officials within that jurisdiction there. I'm for limiting organizations that could be construed as right, left, center, anybody other than, hey, here's your form. Now, there's plenty of, these folks are going to assimilate, they're going to become part of an American, dream, and they're going to get out there and they're going to get their information from PBS, maybe not, hopefully not MSNBC or CNN, but they're going to get it from Fox, they're going to get it from PBS, they're going to get it from sources.
But logistically, when you have the families gathered, typically at these naturalization ceremonies, it's not just the person becoming the citizen, it's the whole family.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, folks who are in the process of voter engagement have said that this is a great opportunity to have the paperwork so that maybe the citizen,
I think it's great.
the new citizen, and maybe other relatives who are not actively engaged.
Want anyone in there influencing their partisan? Check the box for D, check the box for R. I don't want that. I think it's a fair resolution to have for something that's going on for far too long, perhaps.
I'd welcome you to come to our voter training because we do not tell anybody what boxes to check.
Okay. I'll gladly come sit in.
You should.
And that's really something that the give and take between so many folks on both sides of this issue, that some folks say that it's not an objective process, that there is some subjectivity from the folks who are helping the new citizen become an American.
I guess that's the thought behind this, right? I mean, because I didn't really know that much about it until it was on a topic on the program, and I didn't really see a lot. I saw the executive order that came out, or whatever. The federal government put this out about less than a month ago, and I don't really, clearly understand. I hear what you're saying, Travis, in terms of like the fear of partisanship. But as you just said, you're not telling people how to put a D or R or NPA. Just here you are. Let's get you signed up right now.
If we've got supervisors of elections in there doing it already, aren't we kind of actually stealing their focus that they could be out in the community doing other things?
What do you say about that, Lindsay?
The supervisor of elections love us. They want us involved. Yeah. We actually in Pinellas get a private tour every year of our supervisor of elections facility, so we can see how their voting process is kept fair and free. The league, let's return to your point. we were just talking about Doge and efficiency. This is a volunteer organization that's providing a government service that otherwise the government would be spending resources on. I don't see the con to allowing a nonpartisan organization in there. And to the subjectivity point, yeah, potentially every person is subjective, and there might be a conversation had, but to maintain our 501c3 status and for any nonpartisan organization to be able to operate, we have to abide by very clear nonpartisan standards, and we work hard to train our members to abide by those when they're when they're at those naturalization ceremonies.
And these are certainly important conversations that help us by bringing everyone to the table. You know, one person, the other person can explain what the process is, and really dispel a lot of the perceptions that are out there.